Hey guys, I'm Jase at Jase Outdoors, and in this video I'm going to be unboxing and field testing the 16 megapixel trail camera by Apeman. The Apeman H55 trail camera. It's a 16 megapixel camera capable of 1080 full HD video with a quick trigger speed of 0.5 seconds out to 65 feet. 40 PCS hidden infrared LED capture crisp night shots. Has a built-in 2-inch LCD screen for live viewing, time-lapse video, waterproof, and an anti-fog clearing. Alright, so let's just dive right into this thing. Going inside the box, starts out with a hello card, the return card, the user manual. Skip this just for the moment so you can see what else is in here. The actual camera itself. And the accessories. You got your camera strap. This is a mount, a wall mount, or like a post. That's actually very nice that they include something like that. So it has a little swivel head on there. Open this up. So if you want to get it up high, you can angle that down. And they give you the mount. So I use a lot of third-party mounts, and it does come with the 1/4 thread on the bottom, so you can, use other things if you'd like. Yeah, we'll open this up. Let's see what we got. Boy, right off the bat, I love that the LCD screen is on this side of the camera. So when you mount this to the tree and you flip open the lid, you're going to be able to see what the camera's aiming at. I have so many cameras with the LCD that's on this side. So when you mount it on the tree and then you flip this open, well, now you're looking at the tree. So you really don't have an idea of what you're getting. So I already like this. It has 40 LEDs at the top that are blacked out. And the battery compartment is kind of on the side here. So you got a little latch, and it looks like, I thought maybe you'd pull that casing out, but you just slide the 8 AA's down in there. It does take an SD card. It's here on the side. And then you have your USB ports and your DC in, so you can just transfer them right to a computer if that's the way you do it. I honestly don't think I've ever done that. There's your USB cord if you do it that way. So I'm going to put some AA's in this, and we're going to turn it on and see how it goes. So I just put the batteries in, and where this latch is to the lid of the battery compartment is where the 1/4 thread is. So if you do use this mount or any third-party mounts, you're going to have to take it completely off the mount to change the batteries, which I suppose is not a huge deal. And we'll turn this baby on. So you can just scroll through the menu. We want English. So it says OK to select, which over here is the OK button. We're going to set up the time and date. Just hit OK after you select what you want. OK, go to the next one. I don't even know what today's date is. So just a couple of things here real quick. It does have the Python locks, so you can lock this thing in. The nice thing about this, if you're like me, I have a real hard time putting expensive trail cameras out in the woods. Even on private land, they just always seem to get legs and walk away. So it's nice to be able to lock them in, but this camera on Amazon's right around $60 mark, so it's not a huge deal if someone takes it. So I would probably end up using this on my public land spots a lot more than my other ones. So we'll see how it does. So I'm going to throw it up on the tree here real quick. We'll run some tests. After the first initial setup, the language, the time and date and all that, which I thought was really easy. I never had to refer to the instruction book for it, so that's pretty simple. We're going to put on the tree, run a few tests. I am using the strap that is provided with it. The strap is pretty long, so you can get around some really big trees. It shouldn't be an issue, but we'll go through the menus and see what it can do. All right, let's get started. So there's 3 modes when you open this up. You have the off button, there's a test in the middle, and then on. So you're going to put it to test, and it takes a second for this thing to fire up. And it gives you a preview of what the camera can see, which is really nice. So you can adjust it on the tree exactly how you would like it. I usually like to give it a little push down to secure it to the tree a little bit better. So from here, if you had everything set right, you just flick it up to on. But we're going to go into the mode and go through some of the menu here, which the menu is the top button. This is an up, down, the enter button or OK button, and then mode. So we're going to hit menu, and the settings start with the mode, which if you hit OK, you have 3 modes. You have photo, video, and then photo and video. So it'll do both in one shot, which is kind of cool. So we're going to leave it on video for now because I just want to do like some tests in real time. So we'll leave it in video. The next mode is photo resolution. Hit OK. I want to turn that up as high as it'll go, which is 16 megapixel. It doesn't default to that, so you want to make sure you put it on the highest setting. Hit OK. Photo series. If you scroll down, you hit OK to select it. You can do 3 photos in a series, 2, or 1. We're just going to do, you know what, we'll leave it on 3. Video resolution. I always make sure that's as high as it goes. It does 1080 high definition at 30 frames a second. Hit OK. Video length. You can select from 5 seconds all the way up to 5 minutes. We're going to do just about 30 seconds for now. You're going to go down to your PIR interval. Hit OK. 5 seconds is as fast as it'll go in between shots. So just for the live test here, we're going to leave it at 5 seconds. Hit OK. Keep scrolling down. You have the sensitivity, the trigger sensitivity. You have low, medium, and high. I'm going to keep it in the middle. Keep scrolling down. Target record time. You can set this for when you want it to record at a certain time, which I don't know, it'd be kind of hard. Time lapse. You all know what that is. You can turn it on or off. And scroll down your language, your time and date, which you probably already set up, serial number, temperature units, which I like Fahrenheit because I understand it, so I leave it on that. And then the sound, you can have it beeping when you scroll through these, which I didn't like, so I turned it off. Audio recording. If you want audio in your videos, you can turn it on or off. I want to leave it on. Timestamp. Of course, I want to leave that on. The date and time, or you can just have the date. Hit OK. You can password protect this if you would like. Format memory card. I suggest you do that, especially on your first initial setup. Anytime you put a new memory card in, you should format it so that this camera can recognize it. We're not going to do that right now. And then your reset settings. And then it has firmware version. And that's it. You're back to the beginning. So we're going to give this a test. To get out of this, you just hit menu again. And then as soon as you turn it on, you get a countdown, 5 seconds. And then it'll shut off. And it's ready to fire. Alright, so we got this thing set up on a tree. I'm just going to slide to the side. I'm going to try to show you in real time. It's opposite. So this tree right here is exactly 22 yards away. So I'm going to walk out past it and come straight towards the camera, and we'll see at what point this thing will pick me up. It's about 5 yards away right here. In the initial video test, the camera wasn't actually triggering until I was about 8 yards away, sometimes 5, but I discovered that the camera was on a slight incline because one day when I came in to just check the camera, it picked me up at a good 19 yards away. So you have to pay attention to the angle of the camera. In the test mode, you can walk out in front of the camera, and when a blue LED light comes on, that means it's detecting motion. I then went out in the camera and ran out in front of it and was surprised that it caught me every time, almost dead center, even at this shot at about 18 yards away. This shot is probably almost 20, and then I just kind of walked my way back and it picked me up the whole way in. So the photo mode definitely did a lot better detecting me than the video mode. So then I stuck it out over a food plot and no issues here. That tree line is about 25 yards away, and it picked those deer up on the edge of it. And here this doe walking in at a high contrast situation had no problems. The sunspot's a little blown out, but there was detail all the way in. If there was one flaw I thought this camera would have, would be the night photos, and I was pleasantly surprised on how evenly lit and well these photos are. And here, even these deer almost 20 yards away, it captured it with no problems. The only downside of just like any other camera is, you know, up close, it did get blown out. The daytime photos, really no issues to speak of. Everything looks pretty good. It's pretty sharp. The one photo I was really impressed with was this one. This deer was running pretty good, and then the next shot it didn't even get it. So it captured it dead center. And the video, daytime video, pretty good. I mean, I'd say it's not like super sharp, but you can certainly tell what's going on, and if, you know, it had a rack, you'd be able to see what it is. So there, it captured that deer pretty quick. And the night video as well is still pretty good. This deer is probably 15 yards away. I captured it no problem. It's evenly lit. I'm surprised on how good the night vision is on this camera. Here they picked up this deer 20 yards away, and you can kind of enjoy the fireworks in the background as well. When it's time to check the camera, open it up, you're gonna flick the switch down one time to the test setting in the middle. And then this is the only problem I had a little bit of struggle with at first, because there is no play button to view your last picture. So you have to hit the mode button. It'll take you to the next option, photo or video, and then you got to hit mode again, and it shows you the photos that were last taken. And then you can scroll through them one at a time and see what you have, which I absolutely love. I think it's a big feature for when I set the camera next to my tree stand. I like to just check it real quick and when I get there and see if anything's been by the night before. And then from here you can delete each file individually. You hit the menu button and then you can select the current file, or you can delete them all. Just hit OK. I'm going to leave it, so if you hit menu it just takes you back, and then hit mode to go back to the very beginning, and you can start all over again. So at the end of all this, the camera took a little over 2,800 pictures, and there were very few false triggers to speak of. I mean, it did have some, but not like some cameras I've had where you're going through hundreds of false triggers. It wasn't like that. 150 of those were video files, and the battery life is still at like 3/4. So the only thing that I couldn't determine is battery life. Although with that many photos in under 2 weeks, I'm going to say battery life is not an issue. And I did not use lithiums either, so I got to imagine battery life is not an issue. The only really remaining question I'd have is, durability, long lasting, how long this camera will last. That I don't know yet. I will try to keep updated if anything happens to the camera. But for a $60 camera, I think this might be worth giving a look. I'll post a link in the description below. My biggest disappointment of the week and a half it was out in the woods is that I didn't get any monster bucks. Oh God.